Now, on Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, authorities appear to have run a sting operation on a man who reportedly tried to meet with a 16-year-old he met online. 25 News now has the details on his arrest. And a powerful nor'easter sweeping across the East Coast. In New York City, the storm is forecasted to become the region's largest snowstorm in 2 years. We'll tell you what this means for residents and air travel. Plus, the shooting at Joel Osteen's megachurch hit close to home for a Victoria pastor. 25 News now sat down with Pastor Tamara Graff, and she gave us her take on the situation that endangered her family.
And we're going to be nice and mild for the next couple days before that cold front arrives this weekend, and then we're going to warm up nicely next week. We'll take a look at that in the weather coming up.
Victoria East girls hit the soccer pitch, and it was bi-district round of girls basketball playoffs. I'll have scores and updates coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain.
And I'm Parker Cox.
And today it's the 14th day of February 2024. The time is now 6:31 on our Wednesday morning. And we have hearts on our minds today because of Valentine's Day, but also because it's Organ Donor Day.
Yeah, I was going to say you also have hearts on your license if you are an organ donor, because, right, I think if you're an organ donor, it has the heart on your driver's license, right?
I believe so, unless they've updated it.
Interesting, yeah, that's the new license.
Well, Parker, are we going to be making hearts at the sunrise today?
Yes, actually, making hearts at the sunrise right now, because in fact, if y'all are tuning in with us right now, look at that beautiful sunrise under that slight cloud cover. It's actually very pretty, especially with those clouds kind of hovering right over it. Yeah, it's kind of Valentine's colors, got some like a little light blue, got some pink, got almost every color out there. Very pretty morning out there, but also a little bit chilly out there this morning as well. Right now about 46 degrees here in the Crossroads, but dew point just 3 degrees off from the temperature. It's a little bit humid as well at about 89%. Not enough for fog because you get that 95% or higher, but you might see some a little bit of moisture, maybe some dew on your windshields. Might have to use your wipers to get it off. But right now, all across the board, we are all in the mid 40s. Some of us along the coast are all in the 50s and 60s. I'm quite jealous of that because it's much nicer and warmer down there on the coast. But for the rest of this week and into this weekend, looking at your weather headlines, might see some patchy fog starting to develop overnight tonight. Right around 3 a.m. We'll look at that in just a second because showers are going to start picking up tomorrow, and I need to change that to tomorrow afternoon. Now, that might even actually start picking up today. We might see some real light showers, maybe drizzle this afternoon. We'll take a look at that in just a second as well, because then we have that cold front coming our way on Saturday morning, bringing us to near freezing on Sunday morning. But looking at that fog I was talking about for tonight, starting at about midnight tonight, going into right around 3 a.m., some light patchy fog, local areas of fog. Might see some of that out there tomorrow morning. But looking at your future tracker here, because like I said, maybe we might see 1 or 2 really light showers, maybe some drizzle this afternoon, but coming our way tomorrow is our best shot at some more rain. As you can see here, by around noontime, probably get lots and lots of more rain coming our way. And we'll take a look at all of that and more in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. A 68-year-old man's plan to meet with a minor led to a run-in with authorities instead. A Texas DPS spokesperson says William Boehm had online communication with a 16-year-old, or so he thought. He reportedly made plans to meet up with the child at a predetermined location, and that's when things went sideways for him. The teen didn't show up, but authorities did and arrested him on the spot. He faces 2 counts of online solicitation of a minor this morning. A woman facing charges in 2 counties has found herself in the Victoria County Jail this morning. 26-year-old Serena Barber now faces a charge in Victoria County for evading arrest and detention. Barber's already wanted on 1 charge in Karnes County and 2 charges in Jackson County. She remains in the Victoria County Jail with a bond set at just over $111,000. Federal agents helped arrest a suspect in Jackson County Tuesday afternoon. Homeland Security agents and U.S. Marshals took part in arresting 41-year-old Daryl National of Edna. There was a warrant for his arrest on the manufacturing and delivery of a controlled substance, with an additional charge of possession of a controlled substance. A Victoria pastor has a close connection to the Lakewood Church in Houston. Pastor Tamara Graff from Faith Family Church is Pastor Joel Osteen's big sister. Graf says her 90-year-old mother texted her about the shooting before the news broke. Graf was shocked when she found out her family could have been in danger. Pastor Graf did not only fear for her family, she's scared of the rising numbers of these public shootings as well.
We know it's happening in schools and theaters and malls and in different places, you know, so I think it's just, it puts concern and really a desire to be safe and to, you know, up your security measures in public places like this, especially church.
Pastor Graf says Faith Family Church prioritizes the security of their church members. She's thankful for the team working hard at their services and their academy. The church had one scare in March of last year, and the local authorities were on top of it. Though the incident was just a scare, she believes Faith Family Church is prepared to keep everyone safe. Also, she says the church cannot stop evil, but they trust in God and will be prepared should it arise. A powerful winter storm swept through the Northeast with as much as 6 inches of snow expected to land in New York City. If forecasts are accurate, the snowstorm could wind up being the largest for the city in 2 years. Across the region, some 46 million people are under winter alerts and more than 1,300 flights are canceled. Fat Tuesday arrived in New Orleans, meaning it's time for the largest free party in the world, Mardi Gras. Tens of thousands of tourists and locals lined city streets as the traditional parades began to roll through the city. During Mardi Gras, the outlandish becomes ordinary. The parades themselves are organized by social clubs or crews and usually follow the same schedule and route each year. Tuesday was the last day of the Mardi Gras season, with today being Ash Wednesday, and today marks the first day of the Lenten season, leading us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We ask you, do you plan to give something up for Lent? Okay, let's take a look. All right, 36% of you say yes, you do, and 8% of you say no, you do not, and 56% of you say you're not Catholic. We want to keep hearing from y'all. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. And remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:37 on our Wednesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. We hear from a Texas State House District 30 candidate.
I'm ABC's Em Nguyen in Washington. The Republican-led House last night voted to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Democrats are calling it a sham. What this means in the Senate coming up.
And also coming up after the break, we'll take a look at your school bus forecast, followed by your weather and health forecast, and later on Sunrise, we'll take another look at that cold front that's coming our way this weekend.
Hi, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs with the Victoria Police Department. Victoria Crime Stoppers is seeking information about an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. On February 11, 2024 at 3:30 a.m., gunshots were fired from an unknown vehicle into a gray Buick four-door car at the 4500 block of Port Lavaca Drive. The gray Buick had just left a local bar in the area. 2 people inside the gray Buick were shot. The 2 victims were treated for non-life-threatening injuries at a local hospital. If you have any information about this aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, please call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. You can also submit a tip by using the P3 Tip app on your Android or Apple device, or by visiting our website at www.crimestoppersvictoria.com. All tips are anonymous, and if you give information that leads to an arrest or charges being filed, you could earn a cash reward. On behalf of Victoria Crime Stoppers, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. If you're all tuning in with us this morning, you're looking at a live look at Cuero, where it looks like the clouds are starting to slowly lift up there, a little bit more northwest up there in Cuero, where it is still a little bit chilly as well out there right now, about 43 up there in Cuero. But with the dew point just 1 degree off of that temperature, now you've got a 95% humidity. But I wouldn't expect any fog to develop because it's so late in the morning. That sun's already coming up in the sky. In fact, you saw that nice, pretty sunrise right now. In fact, all of us seeing that pretty sunrise this morning with those clouds over us right now. But if you're sending your kiddos out the door this morning, it's going to be about 46, just like it is right now, and only going to get up to about 70 degrees today. Going to be a nice and warm day today. Maybe a little mild, not warm, but mild. It's going to be a great day today. But with that great weather today, only tree pollen is going to be moderate today with those strong winds that we just had like a few days ago. But UV index is also moderate at about 4.5, 5 today as well. But that's pretty normal for the UV. But for the rest of this week and going into this weekend, we get a good shot at seeing some showers coming our way starting tomorrow before that cold front arrives Saturday morning, bringing us to near freezing Sunday morning. And then if you don't like that cold weather, we're going to be warming up nicely next week. And we'll take a look at all of that and more in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. By-district round of the postseason for girls hoops. Here's sports reporter Zach Brown.
It was by-district round of girls basketball playoffs, and we already know the Shiner Lady Comanches got the win on Monday, and last night the Victoria East girls, well, they may have lost the first seed, but it did not matter. They bounced back wonderfully in their by-district round, pounding the Figueroa Toro 64-40, the East Titans, poised to go deep this postseason. Another team that lost the first seed, the Edna Cowgirls, did not matter for them either in the by-district round. Easy win over the Marion Bulldogs, 63-41. On to the area round they go as well. And the team they lost the 1 seed to, well, that was the Hallettsville ladies, putting a by-district trophy in their case, destroying Nixon Smiley 78-25. And we can't forget about the Cuero girls, who traveled to face the Navarro Panthers head coach Amy Crane, fresh off her 200th career victory. Well, you can add one more. They played great defense in their 45-27 win. We also had some soccer here in the city. The East girls taking on the Miller Buccaneers. And, well, this right here was just a fantastic shot, but a better save, but way to stay with it and send it through the back of the net. One of 2 goals on the day for Addison Padilla. Lena Colas had 4 goals. Carolina Bro had 1, and Ayana Cooley and Lydia Traxler shut Miller down to just 1 goal in the game. Also of note, the boys pitched a shutout for the East soccer team, 4-0 over Miller. With your 25 Sports Now, I'm Zach Brown.
Thank you, Zach. All right, we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. In a historic rebuke of a sitting cabinet member, the Republican-led House voted to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas over his handling of the southern border. It comes after a failed effort by Republicans last week. This comes as House Republicans reject several bipartisan border deals from the Senate.
For the first time in 150 years, the historic impeachment of a sitting cabinet member.
The yeas are 214 and the nays are 213. The resolution is adopted.
The Republican-led House narrowly voted to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, accusing him of refusing to enforce immigration laws, blaming him for the influx of millions of illegal migrant crossings since President Biden took office.
We did exactly what we should be doing. Now it's up to the Senate to do their job.
But the effort is expected to die in the Democratic-led Senate, where Majority Leader Chuck Schumer calls the case a sham and a new low for House Republicans. This is the second attempt by House Republicans to impeach Mayorkas. Democrats and some Republicans insist this all amounts to a simple policy disagreement, citing no evidence of high crimes and misdemeanors. The Department of Homeland Security has called the accusations baseless, saying if Republicans were serious about border security, they would pass the bipartisan border bill they helped negotiate. But last week, House Republicans rejected that deal.
National security begins with border security. We have said that all along.
House Speaker Mike Johnson is also vowing to block the new bipartisan national security bill passed yesterday in the Senate, which would deliver billions in aid to Ukraine and Israel. President Biden warned history is watching.
House Republicans, you got to decide. Are you going to stand up for freedom? Or are you going to side with terror and tyranny. You're going to stand with Ukraine, you're going to stand with Putin.
The Senate is expected to receive the articles of impeachment from the House later this month. Meanwhile, U.S. Customs and Border Protection says migrant apprehensions at the southern border have dropped by roughly half last month. Em Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
This week, we're introducing you to the District 30 Republican primary candidates. The former Jackson County Sheriff A.J. Louderback says he's prepared to solve the crisis at the border. He's endorsed by Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, and he also has thoughts about teacher pay raises.
I know that the allotment of money per kid, $6,100, is still too low. I know the teachers' pay is too low, but I'm not willing to put school choice in place unless public schools are made whole. I don't want to destabilize public schools.
Today on 25 News Now at 5, we'll have District 30 Republican primary candidate Brett Baldwin live, and on Friday we'll have District 30 Republican candidate Jeff Bachnight on live. The Republican primary winner will face Democrat Stephanie Bassam in the November election. She's running unopposed in the Democratic primary election. We hope that you'll join us. Victoria County Republican women hosted a forum for Republican candidates in state and local races. All 4 District 30 Republican candidates, Sheriff Marr and Moore, spoke at the event. The candidates shared their views as Republicans. Also, they discussed important topics such as border security. The organization was excited to see so many candidates show up.
Hoped it would be this big. So we're glad to see those hopes realized. And we are very pleased with the caliber of candidates that are in the field right now.
The organization says that they are pleased with the candidates. They also shared their pride in the turnout. 150 people showed up, and most of the candidates showed up to support the event at Club Westerner. The time is now 6:47 on our Wednesday morning. Still to come, love is in the air. It's Valentine's Day, and it's not just a holiday for significant others. Okay, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Denai Guerrera, the Black Panther and Walking Dead star, turns 46.
Ooh, happy birthday. And happy 28th anniversary to Ruben. You are the very best husband ever. That's so sweet. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com, click on More under Home KVU to submit your birthday.
And the time is now 6:48 on our Wednesday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
Yes, happy birthday and happy anniversary. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. We are still expecting that cold front to come our way on Saturday morning, dropping us to near freezing on Sunday morning, but we're going to warm right back up after that front passes. Take a look at what's going on here. We've got high pressure currently over Dixie Valley, over Mississippi and Alabama right now, which is giving us that southerly wind right out of the Gulf, which is keeping us nice and warm for the next couple of days in the 70s. But that high is going to push eastbound down and out into the Atlantic and dissipate over there, making way for a new low. It's going to be a deep one coming out of the Rockies, developing in the Panhandle region by Friday, and that's going to swing a new cold front coming all the way out of northern United States, bringing all that cold air through our area by Saturday morning, probably around 6, 7, 8 a.m. And then high pressure is going to reinforce that cold air for just one day, because the high pressure is going to return right back to the Gulf, bringing us right back into the 70s and 80s just days after that cold front comes through. In fact, looking at your jet stream, and this is actually exactly why we're going to see that cold weather. It's because there's going to be an upper level low. It's going to be sort of like a polar low coming out of northern Canada. It's going to come real close to Lake Superior and the Great Lakes up there near Minnesota. But once that gets real close, there's going to be a little bit of forcing in the upper atmosphere right here where the winds meet each other. These winds coming out of the north and these winds right here coming out of the southwest, they're going to meet each other in the upper atmosphere, and they have to go down, not up, bringing all that cold air out of the upper atmosphere right on top of us by Saturday morning, and Sunday morning as well. But then after that pushes off, we've got high pressure returning with a gigantic ridge, and we're going to be warming up nicely next week to even the 80s, possibly by late next week. Got a little hint of spring coming our way. But looking at that front, you can see it coming out of the north, coming our way by Saturday morning, and then we're warming right back up after that. And we'll take a look at all that and more in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. Love is in the air. It's Valentine's Day. It's not just a holiday for significant others. You can show affection to friends, family, pets, and of course, yourself. Valentine's Day is believed to have started long ago. It derived from the feast for the patron Saint Valentine. Historians tell a story of one saint who married couples in secret to prevent men from going to war. In the 1400s, the day became associated with romance. People started writing letters and poems declaring their love and calling them Valentines. Today, some 180 million cards are exchanged each year, and florists ready nearly 2 million roses for the day. The average person is expected to spend more than $100 showering their loved ones with gifts. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. One person was killed and another hurt following a stabbing in Virginia. An Amber Alert is still active out of Houston. The victim is 1-year-old Noah Johnson. He was last seen wearing a blue shirt and flower print pants. The suspect is 38-year-old Camila Johnson. The suspect is driving a white 2007 GMC Yukon with a license plate number STM7097. Call 911 if you have any information. One person was killed and another hurt following a stabbing at a trade school in Virginia. Officers responded to an apprenticeship training center in Manassas on Tuesday, shortly after 3 p.m. for a report of a stabbing. When they arrived, they encountered a man suspected near the front entrance with a knife. More than one of the officers opened fire, striking the suspect, who was pronounced dead on scene. Before being shot by police, the suspect had stabbed 2 men inside of the training center, killing one of them. The other man was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was released from the hospital Tuesday. A statement from the Pentagon says Secretary Austin is well and has resumed his full functions and duties. The statement also said he would recuperate and perform his duties remotely from home for a period before returning to work at the Pentagon later this week. Secretary Austin was admitted to Walter Reed National Military Hospital on Sunday due to a bladder issue related to his December 2023 prostate cancer surgery. Doctors say Austin's bladder issues were not related to his cancer diagnosis and won't affect his prognosis. The number of people crossing illegally into the U.S. from Mexico has decreased in the past month. U.S. Customs and Border Protection say illegal crossings are down 50% from December 2023 to January of this year. Agents encountered migrants between ports of entry over 124,000 times in January. That's down from more than 249,000 the previous month. They say the drop is largely a product of seasonal migration patterns, which are expected to turn back toward higher migration patterns in the early spring. December saw a particularly high number of southwest border encounters because Mexico exhausted funds to interdict migrants on their way to the U.S., and it has since increased interdictions. Despite mounting doubts about his guilt, Ivan Cantu is running out of time to avoid Texas's death chamber. Read this story by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. And now we take a look at a beautiful sunrise with First Word Storm team meteorologist Parker Cox.
Absolutely, you are absolutely right, Carolina. Good morning, folks. Look at this beautiful sunrise down there on the coast of Port Lavaca, where it is so much nicer down on the coast. 55 down there, while here in the Crossroads, we are still in the 40s. A little bit of a chilly morning. All of us here in the 40s this morning. Well, like I said, along the coast, a little bit warmer. But today, getting up to about 70 degrees today, and tomorrow, right about the same, getting to the low 70s tomorrow. But coming our way today, we might see maybe 1 or 2 real light showers, maybe some drizzle this afternoon. But coming our way tomorrow is the bigger shot at those showers. But also coming our way this weekend, we've got a cold front that's going to drop us to near freezing on Sunday morning. But as soon as that cold front is out of our area, we are warming up nicely to the 70s and 80s next week, Carolina.
Wow, summer is on its way.
Oh, it is on its way.
All right, well, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join Karina, Don, Mac, and Zach today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.